Friends, 26th day of war. On political front, UN has said that so far in this war in Ukraine, 902 civilians have been killed. Remember this figure, not for my talk, but otherwise, vis-a-vis the Western propaganda, Ukrainian propaganda. In the meantime, Ukrainian opposition have been banned, media is controlled and centralized, and parliament almost dysfunctional. Zelensky addressed Israeli lawmakers and asked them, as he has been begging, entreating, requesting, ordering, threatening for arms help, as well as to ban all form of economic communication with Russia. By the way, he has not ever been seen addressing his own parliament. What happened to that, I am not aware. Anyways, the other news is that Biden, after having attended NATO's meeting in Brussels, is coming to Poland. That means there seems to be some form of consensus developing among them or not developing among them, which he wants to discuss and see what final could be talked with their counterpart, that is Russian, and what will be the outcome of that. In the meantime, China has again refused that it has been helping Russia militarily, and India, Japan have issued joint statement requesting for peace in Ukraine. This kind of tokenism continues happening world over. On economic front, there is nothing much. France has frozen all the central bank assets of Russia, and which is more than 22 billion worth euros. And Saudi Arabia is inching closer to accepting yuan with China in its oil trade, rather US dollar, which was earlier. And earlier, as we know, that its leader, as well as that of UAE, they have refused to talk to Joe Biden on telephone. Whatever the latest, I am not aware. Coming to military front, most important, few soldiers, maybe a dozen or two of Ukraine have surrendered in Kyiv region, Kapilo, on the outskirts of that. The uses of hypersonic missiles has been reconfirmed, and that Russians have reused, but you must keep in mind that it cannot be done constantly in a large amount because of it is cost prohibitive, and I don't know how many are there with the Russians. It cannot be unlimited unless they find some very vital areas and very effective target that needs to be neutralized. They will not be using, like they will not be using father of all bombs, which they developed in 2007 after US developed mother of all bombs in 2003, which they used extensively in Vietnam and later on even in Afghanistan. And they blamed Russia use in Chechnya and Syria. Well, I have no confirmation on that, but uses of some very powerful war machines, war equipments, even ECCM, because ECCM is dispensable cartridges. It is not like you can reuse it. It is use and throw, and hypersonic missiles and other things. Once they are used, finished. So they have to be limited. In the meantime, the news has come that Russian landing ship named Orsk with the naval forces of Black Sea have landed in Berdyansk port, which has been already captured by Russians, and it is intact. The Ukrainian soldiers, while running away, they left it as it is. They could not even destroy it. This is one of a very important port in Zaporizhzhia Oblast and at the port of Sea. Well, Now, as far as the other areas are concerned, let us talk about the south and southeast Ukraine itself. Mariupol, the Russians had given ultimatum to Ukrainian army to lay down arms today early morning, which has been refused, openly refused by their deputy prime ministers, and their military have not done so. And therefore, the war is likely, but when the full-fledged war starts, for the final drop of or final fall of Mariupol is not known. Kherson, which was silent for some time being, again bombing and shelling has started. So in Mykolaiv in South Ukraine and the other two places, Odisha, the naval RT has started bombarding again in selected areas. Lviv seems to be silent today. I am not aware. Let us come to the north side. Kyiv again remains as it was, except few huge explosions have been heard inside center of the Kyiv. Nothing more has come out of that. It is basically what is exchange of fire going on between the two warring armies is that of artillery. And both of them are trying. Ukrainians are trying that the Russian RT should not come closer because they are more devastating, more modern. And Russians are trying to inch closer to Ukrainian. That is continuing. Okay, that is as far as the military situation is concerned. In the meantime, Ukraine has claimed, let us see to that. It has killed more than 14,700 Russian soldiers and destroyed 1,487 armored vehicles, 96 aircraft, 230 RT guns and 947 other military vehicles. It is a huge this thing. What Russians are accepting, it is not known to me. But as of now, this is what we have. To conclude my talk, friends, as far as international pressure is concerned on economic front, it continues. We all know it. Propaganda is unprecedented. That too continues. And war after 25 days, which as West will like us to believe, and even Ukrainian government as well as military wants us to believe that stalemate has reached. Is it temporary because of the balance of power is almost neutralized here, or it is just overtly that what we are facing it, that we will come to know soon. International efforts on peace process is also continuing. What we come to know and also what we don't come to know, but what it hinges on. As far as Russians are concerned, their terms and conditions are very clear now, and it depends now on their willingness that how much they backtrack on their demands. As far as Ukraine is concerned, their people's say is hardly any in this, but few places they seem to have come to the streets, like in Kherson and even in surrounding places of Mariupol against Russian army. And Russian army where in Kherson they were quite meekly watching them. In other area they have shoot them away. Anyway, that is as far their population is concerned. LPR, DPR and other people, they want that Ukraine must surrender. As far as the Ukrainian opposition is concerned, they have no say. They have been banned, and if they speak anything, they are treated as traitors. Russia, along with its opposition and all that, seems to be quite solidified. But now, Ukrainian army, yes, they will have say, but as of now, they are speaking in the same language as their government, as well as the others are talking about. What do you think about the say of USA and NATO? Why Biden is coming to Poland? Why he had come to NATO headquarters? What is the say of CIA? What they want post-war in Ukraine? The huge investment they had before the war started and during the war in form of arms and ammunition, billions and billions worth. How will they seek the settlement of it? Will Russia agree to it? Will they continue their investment in Ukraine post-war? These are many questions which will settle the peace process. Peace, what overtly comes, is not known. Peace, what Zelensky is talking, is all rubbish. What he is doing is talking rhetoric, jingoism. But who is sitting in the headquarters of Ukraine, Kiev, in Poland, in NATO, in Washington, who are actually guiding these actions and what they want? And therefore, peace is not so simple. Anything that is being done, said, talked after Israel or Turkey or other governments do and Russia accepts or proposes or counters, and it goes to Ukrainian government, finally it goes to the various such headquarters, semi and main headquarters. And what they decide politically, militarily, and behind them are the oligarchs of USA and European Union, UK, Japan. What they want. It's not so simple, friends. What we think, we keep talking, shouting. Sitting in India also we talk, whether this side or that side. One movie comes out, we start jumping. Who is patriotic, who is not? Who is pro-Indian, who is not? But actually, who is guiding? Thank you, friends.